So, as I continue the Merry Christmas video that I would not want to be putting out today, it is when I say that we're missing it, it's the subtle things. Nothing happens overnight. We didn't stay in bondage. People didn't get in bondage. People didn't like slavery. They didn't stay in slavery because they liked it. They stayed in it because they didn't have a choice. There's so many aspects to slavery and how it happened. And it began, a lot of it was with communication because they strip you. There is power in numbers. If you start to be divided, it's easy to conquer. And literally, that's what is happening to us now. The difference is they have to be just a little bit more strategic because they're not necessarily snatching us, although they are snatching us off. There is the fear aspect of it because deploying the military and having ICE go in and everything, those are fear tactics. And it's like, okay, see, look, this could be you. And then for those of you that don't pay attention to the news, Congress passed a bill that would allow Trump to deport people even if they're citizens. So see, they gave him a lot of power, and he made sure his people in there gave him that power. So by the time you have some Republicans finally trying and pretending to step up, it's really a lot it's too late. That's why we need a change of power. That's why you see people moving around. That's why you see them making decisions. That's why Jasmine Crockett is trying to get into the Senate, because in the Senate is where a lot of things get passed. That's where the reason our Supreme Court is voting and doing like it's done, the last approval comes from the Senate. We need somebody in there who will fight. We need somebody who will stand up. We need somebody who will stop some of this stuff. There's just way too many things going on. And see, like I said before, because it doesn't happen all at once, I think many of you and a lot of you that voted, I was talking to a person who did vote for Trump, and they were like, oh, he can't run again. And he's like, if he does, I'm going to make a post. And all I could think about was, who cares about your stupid post at that time? If we get in a situation, when we get in it, because let's face it, this man is not redecorating the White House because he thinks he's going to leave in 3 years. The renovations he's doing will probably take that long because we know he does nothing small on somebody else's dime. That's our dime. So literally at a time where we've lost more jobs, we're in dire straits, this man is redecorating the White House. What would have happened if President Obama had done that? Oh my gosh, they would have been ready. They would have impeached him. So what I'm saying is, literally, the writing is on the wall. This man is doing things, and because it didn't come in all at once, when you heard Project 2025, and just like the man that I was talking to that said, I did vote for him, because he wasn't a politician and he was a businessman. He's not a businessman. If you call bankrupting every company a business, because he's bankrupting America. And when America is bankrupt and when she's at her weakest, he will make sure all of that climaxes right at the elections for 2028 so he can call martial law. And no, he won't run for a third term, but he will say we will not change the guards because it would be detrimental. Look it up. See, that's why I'm telling you, you got to really understand and pay attention. And then there's some people who know who understand the law and understand where this can go. And you need to listen to them, and not just people who are emotional and money driven on TikTok that's just saying different things or saying, oh, it's harmless, and oh, he can't do this and he can't do that. There are a lot of things literally you thought he could not do that, guess what? He is doing, has done, and is continuing to do. So when are we going to look at it? Are we going to pay attention later? Are we going to wait till it's too late? What's going to happen? So you cannot just keep waiting, and your vote in 2026. Oh, and let me be clear. Literally, John Lewis, who died a few years ago, died without the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act bill being signed. So we are on borrowed time, black people, because it still has not been signed. It hasn't been passed again. That's important. So some of you non-voters, your lack of voting will cause us to lose our choice and our options altogether. And if that's not Project 2025 going into place, I don't know what is. It's not happening all at once. It's strategic. And just because it's checkers, some of you all can't see it. And I feel bad that you're being tricked and that you don't know. But we are in the last days. And there are some of us who are trying to tell you, you got the time is now. You must speak up. You must speak out. You must be vigilant about voting, especially locally, which is where a lot of the things are happening, because he is putting together everybody. I mean, he got pieces going. All of the countries he was trying to help, he didn't do any of that without knowing he's going to call on them later for something. And you just got to follow the money and follow his plan to understand what that is. He looks stupid. He looks chaotic. He likes that. He keeps chaos. He doesn't say everything. And some of you like, he's like, I'm going to do. Okay, well, day one prices didn't go down. In fact, inflation has tripled. So are we great yet? When he says make America great, that's when when black Americans was building it and we weren't getting paid. You better wake up. Now, that's a Merry Christmas for you.